And here we have it, one of the final Group B matches, deciding third, fourth, fifth place decider in between IG and Team Liquid. And IG looked rather shaky versus Tongfu lately. I actually haven't seen any of Team Liquid's games. I don't think we've casted it.
They've been playing really well in some matches. Other matches, they weren't super happy with the way things turned out. I know that they had a couple games where they felt that they had it won with an advantage. So I think they're pretty confident as a whole. Now keep in mind, Liquid just has to win one of these matches to guarantee that they advance. So that is their main goal, win one game. IG, they really want to take it at least 2-0 if possible. If they take it 2-0, that means that Liquid is out and they are guaranteed in. And I'm sure Tongfu would love to see that as well.
All right.
So let's go over the players really quick for Team Liquid here. The one position is TC, one of the most talented players in North America, insanely good farmer, and has, I know for a fact, made some really nice plays to clutch some games yesterday. Their 2 position is Korok, that is their mid player, very talented Storm Spirit. Very talented Storm Spirit, solo mid player, one of the highest rated solos on the fantasy draft, so he's having a great week. In the offlane position, it's going to be Boba. Bobo playing a lot of Darkseer. I heard he played a really fantastic Tinker yesterday with one crucial error in the late game, but apparently he's on his game, which is not always the case for him on land, so good to see he's doing well. Fluff and Stuff has hit many a top Reddit post this week with some insane micro skills. Very talented player there. And of course, the second best mustache in the Dota 2 scene, it is IX Mike. Plays the 5 role. Great Treant Protector and other good support heroes.
Shots fired.
Second best mustache.
You call that thing you have a mustache?
Not currently, I mean. I'm just saying I could beat him. I'm just like letting him have the torch for now. That's all.
And the Eastern team, the defending TI2 champions, on the 1 roll, we have Zoe. Pretty standard, safe. He's probably one of the top 3 carries, I'd say, in the Eastern scene. Very safe, farms well. What else can you say?
It's good.
Number 2 roll, we have Ferrari 430, one of the most feared solos in the Eastern scene. Did decently in the 1v1 championship. I still think he's 1-1 against Moob, but famous for his TA, and he's been doing like okay as of late, not as dominant as he used to be. And in the 3 roll, we have YYF, who also sometimes plays Lifestealer in the safe lane. His Lifestealer, I think, is really, really scary. If IG gets their hands on that, I think they could easily take a game off of Liquid. He's a fantastic player. He's very famous for his Bat Rider, too. Chuan, the support player for IG, he tends to play different heroes. I think we saw Tidehunter. We saw Tidehunter a lot last year. We've seen them rotate a lot of other heroes besides the traditional Rubik, plus a couple that are most popular.
They actually played Chuan Tide in the game that they won TI2 with.
That's true.
Yeah.
Factoid.
And last but not least, we have Faith, pretty stable support player. Doesn't get cut out of position. He's not flashy.
Except yesterday when he needed to be in position on his disruptions and got lassoed all game long.
All day, every day.
Okay, so the draft is underway. We're going to hop into it in a second, but I do want to give everyone a chance
Predictions?
to get themselves on the record with predictions. Liquid, they need 1 game to advance.
I'm quite confident they'll get at least 1 game. I think there's a moderate, slight chance that Liquid will take a 2-0, but I think I'll probably say 1-1 is a safe bet.
I have not seen Liquid at all in this tournament. I've been watching the games that BTS has been casting, so IG has been looking weak, though. I just say 1-1. I don't see IG winning at 2-0, so 1-1 IG.
That leaves you, Lumi.
Realistically, 1-1 TL, but my true heart lies in a 2-0 IG. Let's go. Let's reban.
What?
Let's reban.
You're friends with Liquid.
I know, but I'm Chinese.
How could you? A2, Lumi?
What about you, LD?
For me, 1-1. IG has not impressed me.
I said realistically
Liquid
1-1.
shaky. I don't think either of these teams has been consistent enough for anyone to have confidence in a 2-0.
All right, have fun, guys.
A2, Luminous. A2.
Look,
How could you?
They got bat, right?
How could you?
They got bat.
How could you?
I saw the draft.
Okay. Team Liquid on the dire side. They ban out the Chen. They ban out the OD. IG, they ban out the Wisp and the Razor. First pick, Bat Rider for IG. And then Liquid respond with a Weaver and a Visage. They now go back for Keeper of the Light.
Really standard ban. Really standard pick so far. The only pick that just surprises me so early is Keeper, because you don't generally select this particular hero unless you know something. Maybe you're trying to take something away from Team Liquid, or they're planning a strategy around. You don't really know with Invictus Gaming anymore, because I don't think they know what's going on anymore. So.
You know, IG could have gone for a Bat Rider Lifestealer, by the way. They chose to ban that.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a strong opening. I mean, there is a Weaver on the enemy team. He's pretty good against Lifestealer, but
Still, right? Like
I still feel like that's just such a strong go. And I don't feel like Keeper of the Light is particularly good against Visage or Weaver. He doesn't help you at all against the familiars. He does no stun or lockdown to deal with Weaver. I guess Monolink.
are they just gonna go Keeper PL? Like
This is a no, they can't because PL's been banned.
okay.
So the 2 hard carries get banned after that Keeper pick, and I think that's pretty smart if you're Liquid, because generally when a team picks Keeper of the Light, it's for a really hard carry and a split push style. And the other option is to aggressive tri-lane with Keeper. Now, something that IG was doing a lot when they were really successful about 4 to 5 months ago would be a Keeper of the Light and say Windrunner for YYF, and then a Chuan Sandcane. So Faith would be on the Keeper Light, and they go aggressive tri-lane. I don't know if we'll see that this game, but it is something to keep in mind.
The problem with that is that if you're going against aggressive trialing with the Illuminate against Nyx Assassin, which could just really easily
That's
backfire.
Very true.
And then you're also doing it against Visage, which is probably one of the best defensive trialing hero there is in terms of how high damage he could dish out. So I don't think that's a good idea. They're picking up Alchemist right now, which doesn't really tell us anything. It could be a bat, on the long lane. It could be Alchemist solo mid, and then we still don't see any trialing hero just yet, aside from the Keeper. Or it could be a Alchemist support or Alchemist on the 1 row. We don't know.
IG, they pick up an Alchemist, and like you said, I think it probably is a 1-roll Alch. It would certainly make sense. It's the strongest hard carry left in the pool.
Boba Clock, here we go.
And now a clock for Boba. So a signature hero for him. 2 heroes that can build BKBs, the Bat Rider, the Alch. Bats won't be too early if he goes for 1, generally.
You've never seen that Keeper BKB?
Also, Liquid just has a...
I like how you just ignore it.
Sometimes I got to ignore you, Liquid. But I actually think Liquid have a really good lineup to deal with Bat Rider, and I think that's important to mention. Weaver, if he gets a Linken's, is very hard for Bat to lock down. Even without it, you can just Sakuchi, and if he doesn't have a gem or jumps right on top of you, the lasso might not get it off. You've got Carapace to walk in the Firefly and Clockwork. Cog's very annoying against Bat Rider in general.
I've seen Fluff and Stuff play Nyx Assassin against Bat Rider, and he's just so on point on popping that spike and walking in the most perfect moment, causing that chain stun against Bat Rider. So Fluff and Stuff should be playing very well, and I'm looking forward to that.
Right now, the biggest hope for North America is Team Liquid, because all they need to do is win 1 of 2 games. Dignitas, in order to be in the upper bracket, Dignitas in Group A have to beat LGD in 1 game, or they drop down to the lower bracket.
The
so
Americans,
Liquid, America, not their last hope, but could be their biggest hope right now.
Americans are still alive.
America is standing, but we're under attack.
1 game
We're under attack
by the
Ukrainians.
by the evil Chinese.
No, mostly by the Ukrainians.
Yeah,
The Europeans have invaded. This is perhaps foreboding. And go fast forward 20, 30 years. America's on the decline, man. We're like the Roman Empire.
No, we've been on the decline.
We're decaying.
We've been decaying for the past 20 years. What are you talking about?
Soon the barbarians will come to finish us. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling all you Europeans very uncivilized. Just kidding. I love you guys.
No, he's not.
Most of the chat, by the way, is European.
Oh, okay.
Like 45 to 50% of viewers are generally European.
Why are European watching this game? It's America versus China. Go watch. I don't know what's going on. What's going on in the other one? Let me
This
check
is
my
an important
multi-twitch.
match. It really is an important match, though. And Liquid will actually ban out the gyrocopter. IG responds by banning out the Ursa, the Korok Bear. They've done their homework. They've watched some Liquid replays here, because Liquid have been running a lot of Ursa. Actually, you know what? Orange got beat by Liquid's Ursa, so then they started running it,
Ursa,
and they won with it, too.
Apparently Ursa
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
secret hero of TI3.
No more Fuzzy Wuzzy. And I've just completely destroyed the chat.
What's going on? USA.
What? Ursa is the hero for USA.
Yeah, again,
Just
like
1 extra letter.
like Ursa is such an American manly hero, you know?
Of course, Liquid, 5th pick, Korok hero coming out. Probably. Could be a Korok Weaver, I guess. Or does he TC play that?
It depends. It depends on the lanes. I feel like both of them could play. I haven't actually cast Team Liquid in quite a while, so
Yeah.
this is my first time seeing them play.
I will like this Rubik pick from IG. There's a lot of good spells to steal. Impale is great. Sakuchi has fantastic. Familiars are really nice, although that one's pretty rare to steal. So I think it's smart response by IG. They needed support here, and they needed a good instant stun. With this, and Bat Rider, and Alchemist, they can kill a Weaver pretty easily.
Yeah, Team Liquid's taking quite a bit of time. I mean, what they did really well in the G1 LAN final against Invictus Gaming was doing it with a Slark. Now, they had a Wisp that game on IX Mike, so things are a little bit different. But Slark is still here. And Slark, we've seen them. It's actually Team Liquid Slark to beat Bat Rider with. There was a good 2 weeks where they just gave away Bat every game. and then just counter pick with Slark. And they had really good success rate. In fact, it was like high 70% win rate.
Yeah, one of the reasons, I mean, generally when we see that matchup, they lane the Slark against the Bat Rider, which I don't know if we would see this game because,
It could happen though.
I mean, it could go mid. You could run a safe lane Weaver. Actually, it's possible, but IG, it's probably a YYF Bat Rider, so it's probably off lane or jungle, which means you have to put your, well, you want to put your Slark in the side lane then, which seems a little odd. But we'll see. Slark is an option. Anything else unusual? Juggernaut.
That's unusual.
Man, I hope Rubik steals Blade Fury. I want to see Chuan spinning.
I mean, I guess the Juggernaut is mostly picked for the healing ward to allow the Keeper of Light to basically his Illuminate to be kind of somewhat useless.
Yeah, this helps them push.
I feel like Team Liquid, as well as us, as well as nobody, really understands what this Keeper of Light pick. Because they ban out the PL, obviously fearing the PL combo. And then they're now fearing the Illuminate from Juggernaut, or from Keeper, so they're picking the healing ward it.
It has to be stated once again that there were a lot of other more common and stronger heroes available that they ignored. They
This
ignored
is
Nyx.
second pick Keeper.
They ignored Darkseer. Both teams have entirely ignored Darkseer, by the way. Neither banned nor picked. And they ignored Lifestealer. I think that's the biggest one to me. So they ignored some very safe, reliable heroes, and they went for something a little bit different. So obviously IG, they knew those heroes were out there. Those are heroes they like to run, but they skipped them.
All right, so Shadow Fiend coming out here from Invictus. So how are the lanes going to come out? Are we going to see a 430 mid Shadow Fiend?
Oh, man. He's been training for this 1v1 competition, Lumi.
Okay.
Actually, the thrilling conclusion of that Mu versus 430 series comes later today, guys. I'm imagining after the tiebreak.
I thought it was going to be at the main event.
No, this is only one of the round 1 matches. The finals will be at the main event.
Okay.
So 430 versus Mu was apparently paused in game 3, and they had a computer issue, could never get it fixed. So they postponed that game 3. That will be played out later today. Then the winner of that series moves on to play Ice Ice Ice, and the winner of that will play Mushi on the grand finals of the 1v1 solo championships. But now we'll have to see if 430 can get the job done in this game. He'll be up against the TC Weaver. That's a pretty good matchup for Shadow Fiend, I feel. As long as he isn't ganked, which of course you'd love to gank Shadow Fiend, but 1v1, I think Shadow Fiend does pretty well there.
Shadow Fiend does have a little bit of trouble a little bit early on, but he will get the bottle very quick, and he should be able to raise and keep TC away from him. But talk about that matchup later. It's going to be IG versus Team Liquid. Liquid just need one game, one win, and it'll be in the winner brackets, whereas IG needs to win both.
USA! USA!
YYF
USA!
going up on the top here with the Bat Rider, saving up 250 go. We have IG Faith playing that Keeper of Light. 430 will be going mid on the Shadow Fiend. Got a little bit pulling, and will be hopefully raising his way to fix some victory. Zoe, so far going mid on the Alchemist, most likely going to be transitioning bot. And then last but not least, we see Chuan on the Rubik.
A very confident move. Liquid heading towards Roche, but not a very good Roche lineup. They're not going for that at level 1, though. 5-man into the enemy jungle. Korok leading the way. A good formation here from Liquid. Nobody in the front lines. It's an easy kill.
Chuan.
And on the side of Team America, Team Liquid, we've got Korok on the Juggernaut, Fluff and Stuff on the Visage, IX Mike, the Stash on the Nyx Assassin. Apparently, rumor is, Lumi, he's wearing sunglasses when he plays this game. Bulba on the Clockwork, and that leaves TC or Weaver. On the Weaver, I should say.
So the only thing they did here is drop a pretty offensive ward that's going to block off this particular camp, but we actually seen that in just this particular jungle, it is so hard to de-ward it because it's so wide. You have to spend at least like 2 or 3 sometimes sentry wards to make that de-ward successful.
Yeah, I mean, the box is actually a lot bigger than that. You can even place a ward like down here, and it still blocks it. So it's an enormous spawn box. It is very, very hard to de-ward. Often you have to spend 2 or 3 to get rid of the observer there. And we'll see. This is not the Magic Bush, by the way, so it's only going to block 1 camp. If you Magic Bush, it's normally a dead giveaway as to where the ward is. So I like the fact that Liquid didn't go for that. Now we'll see a Korok aggressive tri-lane Juggernaut. Against Juggernaut, generally you want to have mobility, or you want to have some sort of defensive spell that's good against the spin, like Disruption.
We saw this
IG has neither.
We saw this aggressive offensive tri-lane with Juggernaut yesterday out of IG and just didn't work out well. So
Okay.
we'll see
We'll
how.
see if Liquid have better success. If they do catch someone like Keeper Light or Rubik, that hero should just be dead.
I mean, there's
no way to disengage.
All right, they know, right? This is just a purely defensive lineup. They have Keeper, which generally would discourage any kind of offensive tri-lanes. But we'll see. D-War comes out. It's going to miss.
No, that actually has
hit.
it, but he's got to go find it is
Yeah,
the main thing.
that's-
And so far, Faith, a little bit afraid to run all the way towards the camp. So that bottom lane, so far, pretty passive. We have 430 mid on the Shadow Fiend against actually Bulba's Clock, so not running the TC mid. They've switched up their roles, which Liquid is known to do. It's something they talked about even when they first formed the team, was how they plan to switch those 3 cores around quite a bit in terms of lanes and heroes. That puts YYF on the top lane as Bat with sentries against Weaver. Not too much fun for the Weaver.
I mean, actually, this is it's a lot better of a matchup. Clockwork could definitely get solo kills against 430. I mean, we saw yesterday a Clockwork just win all over a Dragon. I think that was God's Clock that just completely took over a game. So, Boba, this is a favorable matchup to him. He has to win this matchup big
There's
time.
a big storyline here, isn't there? 430 versus Boba.
Oh,
the rematch.
man, rematch.
The rematch.
Oh.
The last time these two played, 430 was on the old TA against Bulba's Invoker. Bulba, one of the best Invoker players in North America, if not the world at that time. And the old TA was really hard to lane against for Invoker. But Bulba, he still hasn't heard the end of that. Now he's coming in fishing for some revenge.
If you get the battery assault off, he's just looking for it, zoning him out. I mean, at worst, he's just making sure that 430 is not getting that CS.
Yeah, a positional mistake of even 50 to 100 units could cost 430 first blood.
Here comes Fluff and stuff. No skill skilled up just yet. If you get the Grave Chill and the battery assault going.
Yeah, he actually hasn't skilled anything. Oh, by the way, they did deward the pull camp, so now Chuan can pull. So they're abandoning any type of aggression on this bottom lane, and
430. He's got that boot to
close.
speed, though. He knows. He could have gone bottom, but got boot
this
to
is
speed.
really smart. Now
Yeah.
Bulba's going to have a much harder time killing him. And even if they Grave Chill him, 430 should just be able to run away, I'm
It
pretty sure.
depends on whether he gets called. Like, if you get Grave Chill, and oh, there's a Grave Chill, but too far away from Boba. Battery assault, he's diving, tanking way too much. Rocket Flare giving sight.
The boots. If
The
no
boots.
boots, that's first blood.
Yep, and right now the tower did way more damage than any harass that these two guys did. Not only that, Fluff and stuff, because he has left the lane, the D-War came out, and it was for free. For 430 now gets a little bit more XP than Boba, all but an IG victory.
So far, so good for 430. He's farming well in this lane. The early movement from Liquid not working out. The early ward is denied. IG's even getting off their jungle stacks. They've got a double stack here. And Liquid have a very poor lineup. Well, I guess not very poor. They could use Blade Fury to steal some stacks, but if you do that, then Korok's very vulnerable to getting picked off. So I think IG clearly in the advantage in these two lanes, and then the question is the solo lane top, which is a slight advantage for TC, but still pretty close. Liquid, to me, need to find kills now. Either mid or bottom, because I don't think they're getting enough done right now.
Yeah, I mean, passively, if you look at Zoe, he's not actually going for a Grievous Screen, so he's not farming that well. This makes me want to think that this could be actually a... Oh, looks like we are going to see initiation right on Fluff and stuff. Illuminate is going to hit. The stun flies through. Nice spy Carapace. Can they get that first blood? They will get it on Fluff and stuff. Chuan's on the run. Nice impale. They are going to get the kill, I think. No, he survived with like one hit away. Korok in huge trouble. Couple more.
Wipe.
Illuminate. Bang.
Tri-lane wipe. No, maybe not Korok. Salving up, just able to live, but they're still chasing. He's got a tango through. He doesn't have one. He's trapped at the side shop. They need the vision. They're not going to find it. Self-stun from Zhou. Oh, Korok, maybe this juke and this salve are enough to turn
The
it around
crits?
and get a kill.
The deeps?
Chuan's on the run. There is actually a Blade Fury here. He's got to lift Korok. One hit, throws him back. Still trying to run. Korok diving for it. He gets another angry crit, but can't quite find the kill. Zhou with an illusion rune.
Oh, man.
That could have been a tri-lane wipe. Korok managed to salve up right as he left the acid spray and just barely survived.
Really good recovery by Korok. But regardless, Fluff and stuff got first blooded, and the advantage goes to IG.
And they're winning these other lanes now. The top lane is going to Weaver, but it's an off lane bat against the safe lane Weaver. So, I mean, to me, you have to win that really hard to compensate. And he's not. And 430, as you would expect, if Clockwork doesn't get kills, Shadow Fiend wins this matchup.
I think once Boba hits level 6, he has a chance to salvage his lane.
That's true.
If he gets a hook in, if he gets a kill, then suddenly it goes back to Boba. But 430 has...
430 has an illusion rune. So if he holds onto that and Boba hooks and he just pops
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
then that will tank all of the battery salt damage, or the majority of it anyway.
He's also doing a very good job at keeping Boba's HP low, because if Boba's HP low, even that would prevent him from wanting to hook in. So, not a bad way to keep him at bay.
One of the best ways to punish Shadow Fiend mid, and one of the reasons why he fell out of the game, at least in terms of being a top pick and a common hero, was that he's very gankable. But when you have a bootsless Nyx assassin, a Visage who's only level 3 and has no smoke, and there's vision for IG all through this area, Liquid's ability to gank that Shadow Fiend is very, very limited. So it puts a lot of pressure on Bulba to find a solo kill, which so far hasn't been able to do.
Yep, we're going to see a fight for the 6-minute rune, which is going to be spawning in 20 seconds. So the supports are rotating away from the bot lane, and Zoe says, all right, thanks for the free EXP. I'll be grabbing that. He should be okay now with the boots and a magic stick. The rotation
Chuan.
from the supports, they want Boba.
They're going in on Bulba, and Bulba, he's been trying to post up here. 431 raise, 2 raises, 3rd raise, and he nails it, and Bulba goes down. The first smoke gank, the first rotation goes to Chuan. TC has gone for a counter gank, but you're diving to Shadow Fiend, and his raises are cooling
Soul
down.
Assumption
Soul
coming in.
Assumption, a lot of damage. Faith is here. He'll raise TC. Double raise in the face. Wow, 430 says, get out of my lane.
And he's going to get a double damage rune up top because Illusions has spotted out. 430,
Jesus.
just impressive play.
That is very patient, and I think you actually need to Soul Assumption 430, so he has to run, because you have to know the raises are cooling down. He's going to turn around and try to do that.
I mean, I thought that was a free kill on Rubik, but and he could have perhaps time-lapsed out, but just a slight moment of hesitation from TC.
Oh, I didn't think it was level 6. He had
No,
time-lapse.
He had time-lapse.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
he thought he was going to get the kill and then time-lapse out, but the inner Havos was not there.
This is not looking good for Liquid in game 1, Lumi. 1-4 the score, 7 minutes in. Already down by nearly 3k experience, 2k gold. There's a hook, though. Bulba going to find a solo kill here on Faith, and a nice kill on a support, and honestly, just Liquid,
Well,
they just need a few kills to gain
Zoe's
their
coming
confidence.
right in right now. He wants to fight this in the face. 3 seconds,
No,
stun.
their
throw.
support, he can't dive for this, and he knows it'll back off.
Yeah.
In fact, this Observer Ward's still doing work.
I mean, Boba's definitely trying his best to bring his team back, but at the same time, he's ganking supports in the jungle. He's not shutting down any of the cores. He's not killing a Bat Rider. He's definitely not killing 430, and that's a huge concern because 430 is just going to spiral completely out of control.
Yeah, generally we've seen a lot of Shadowblade rushes or BKB rushes. Which do you think is the right choice this game? There's a lot of nukes. I would lean towards BKB, but there are some squishy targets if he wants to go Shadowblade.
It depends on how IG wants to take this game. Are they looking for pickoffs, or they just want to farm up Zoe? The way that Zoe does not have Grievous Remax makes me want to think that they want to play more aggressive. So I'm leaning towards a Shadowblade. But if they feel that the game is, already starting losing the towers, then they might go back for the BKB.
The nice thing is then you have your tandem of your Shadowblade Shadow Fiend for 430 and your Blink Dagger YYF Bat Rider, who can just roam around the map and set up a lot of kills. They're also gonna have level 6 soon on Chuan, and that means he could steal Sakuchi, maybe impale Vendetta, and he could become a 3rd pillar of that ganking squad.
Yep. I do like the stacking being done by IG supports in the jungle, and now you can see that YYF going in to clean up. Chuan, though, in position to take some of that EXP. He wants that 6
I mean, this goes back to the failed smoke gank for Liquid. When Fluff left the tri-lane, IG got to D-ward, and they got to stack. If Fluff is there contesting, maybe some of those get body blocked, maybe they get hero blocked. But IG just take advantage of the Radiant jungle, and it's a very strong jungle for them because they have Bat Rider and Keeper of the Light. Tons of levels on their supports, really taking advantage of the advantages of their side and pulling quite far ahead.
I just love what Chuan did. He hits level 6, immediate teleport scroll
Give me
up,
Sakuchi.
and then just takes Sakuchi. And it's like, all right, I'm back to ganking. Because actually having Sakuchi on Chuan is like having a Blink Dagger 8 minutes in the game.
A
It's
Blink
insane.
Dagger that does AoE damage
Right.
as well.
I mean, I think Boba could be dead right now.
Yeah, if they go in on him with Sakuchi, that's a kill. There is a dire ward up, but it's not going to spot Chuan if he comes from, like, say, over here.
I was thinking about it. TC's Ice
They
Mag.
showed Ix Mike mid, and they could go on Ix Mike too. He's He's easier than Boba. For
Well,
sure.
it depends on when he spikes and where he spikes.
It's a level 1 spike. If he gets caught, he's dead.
Well,
There's no question about
Here comes
that.
Boba and Fluff and stuff. I mean, also getting the Sakuchi means Chuan's going to be a lot more difficult to
By
go.
the way, Battery Assault does not hit invisible units unless you have detection, so if he's Sakuchi, Cogs won't hurt him as much either. And they've got 3 heroes mid, YYF lurking in the trees, Boba prepared to hook, prepared to backstab. The support is here, but the support is kind of squishy to me. YYF, if he gets caught, Liquid biding their time. They do need these ganks to work, though, because Bat Blink's coming soon. Soon it's going to be IG's turn to ramp up the aggression.
The smoke dispel, so they should know, like, somebody's either over here.
Another unsuccessful gank, it looks like, from Liquid.
They're just poised.
They haven't actually been spotted yet, though.
Oh, Boba walking in. He's just waiting for a
Oh,
hook.
they're coming in. Now they've been spotted. Immediate reaction. YYF into Firefly. Fluff drops a ward, and it's a headlong retreat. The Fire Ants are angry. Chuan's on the hunt. In comes 430 as well.
Chuan's going to get that
Fluff
lift.
is dead.
Chuan's going to get the lift.
There is a hook, though, if they want to re-engage, but this is a bad fight. Fluff's dead.
Yeah,
Not much he
that
could do
gank
there.
just took way too long. And here, Korok's going to find Zoe in the jungle. Is he trying to wait out that ultimate?
Oh, the hook's not going to connect. Bulba just out of range for it. Jeez.
If they hit that hook, they maybe get the kill. Because Joe was still next to the neutral camp, and that might take some of the bounces from the Omni Slash.
Yeah, so they might not even get
Right,
it,
so
even
it
with
was
the
just-
hook.
It was close. But
Liquid do have to go for these plays, though, because IG have the much better farming lineup. It's not even close. Visage doesn't flash farm well. Lix Assassin doesn't flash farm well. Weaver's okay, but not amazing. The other team just has some of the best farmers in the game. Shadow Fiend is amazing. And, well, we do see Zhou getting picked off mid. Sorry for missing that, guys. Solo kill on Korok. And now Tron, TP reaction. Gank stealing the healing ward. He needs like 4 more hits to bring him down. It's not going to happen. Korok making a big solo play there. There was no pickup of the Shadow Amulet or the Broadsword, so that really delays the Shadow Blade if he's going for it.
I'm wondering exactly what he's going for. Generally, when you go face boot, I think it's Shadow Blade, but it's hard to actually call because back at the top lane here, it looks like we do have yet another pickoff. TC finds himself a solo kill. Team Liquid striking back.
Some mistakes here from IG, especially that one top. Keeper of the Light off on his own like that. Very bold. No vision towards the top side of the map. They're playing completely in the dark. They do have their YYF Blink Dagger, though, and they have a Shadow Fiend who's getting closer to a BKB. Now with an Invis rune up, they might look to make a play mid. That Dire Observer Ward, though, was never dewarded, so they see YYF coming. Boba should not get caught.
Yeah. Back in the bot here, we do see Fluff and stuff as well. So Ix might think about setting up kill. I don't think there's any way they could kill Chuan. I think, they can't kill Zoe. They definitely could kill Chuan, though.
Score 5-4. Liquid really fell behind early. They're still trailing, but at least they're finding a few kills, getting some confidence back. Liquid trying to force things bottom lane. It's 12 minutes in, still no level 6 on IX Mike, still no level 6 on Fluff. These are supports that really need that level 6, so to me this is hurting Liquid a lot.
Well, they're going to perhaps get level 6 off this kill. Zoe under a lot of pressure, down to about a quarter of health. Pops his ultimate, just not enough. Great kill here. And, well, that will get them to level 6, at least for Fluff and stuff. Zoe's getting picked off a couple of times.
Yeah, Joe, the one time when he got tower dove by Juggernaut, I don't know if you could fault him too much there. I mean, that's a pretty big dive, but this one, just strutting into the lane with a few supports off the map. Now that level 6 I mentioned, it's up. Familiars are up. Vendetta's
back in the mid lane
soon.
here. Blink, lasso here against Boba. Boba cogs, but the flaming lasso bounced him out, and the double damage of 430 brings him up.
Okay, he's going to have one of the fastest BKBs that you can see on this hero, and that to me is a really big problem. They could maybe make a go on TC as well. This Illuminate's being channeled, narrowly dodging it. If that hits and they Sakuchi in for a zap, he's probably dead.
Yeah, 430 is just piling a ton of damage on this tower on the mid lane as well. Korok trying his best to draw the creeps off of them towers. And they will hold for now, but just too much concern right now if you are in Liquid. You're dealing with a Blink Bat.
They have to keep on fighting. Like, they have to keep on getting kills.
Well, no, they have to get on better kills. Getting Faith kill, for example, doesn't matter. Getting Tron kill, it doesn't matter. You need to shut down the Shadow Fiend. You need to keep on shutting down Zoe. I have to say, though, shutting down Zoe so far for Team Liquid, they're doing an excellent job of.
So here's the thing. They have some ways to deal with a BKB. They have the Swarm, they have Omni Slash, and they have Familiars, but I don't think they have enough ways to deal with a BKB. And not if IG are fighting as a team. If 430's there with his team and he's not getting immediately caught and brought down, Liquid are losing that fight handily.
Yeah, they need to initiate onto him, and that's where Boba comes in. He needs to be on point with this hook. So far, I think he's only get hit 1 on Faith in the jungle, which is pretty much a freebie. Ice Smite's also level 6. And here we go. They're looking for some kills in the enemy jungle.
This Fluff ward, I think it's seen quite a few of these heroes for IG. They are, however, plotting a very, very big wraparound gank towards the bottom lane.
Oh, they're going back
smoke,
mid.
and they'll head back towards mid. But this Observer ward, it saw like 2 or 3 heroes in this region, so they might know. They'll head up towards the bottom lane, though, and I'm not sure if Fluff is ready for this. Familiars, scouting things out.
But this position is so
pretty good
right?
position.
Yeah, they don't see you.
But there's some good wards here. IG 4 off the map, mid lane pushing a bit, top lane pushing a bit. Fluff, will he get caught? There is a Blink Bat, though. Firefly prepped. Blink. Lasso is there, even with the vision. 1 raise, 2 raises. Down he should go. Now a BKB. 430 unwinds, and Liquid need to run. They can't fight this. IX Mike dead. Korok in trouble. In comes Bulba. The hook not on the mark. YYF to fall. 430. 1 more raise. 1 more kill. Korok running. TC trying to latch onto him, but Joe is still alive. Blinking forward is YYF. This is 4 dead. This could be 5. It will be. Ultra kill for 430. Wow.
I don't think 430 missed a single raise in that team fight. Just really confident with his raises. Does not miss his ult either. Big AoE slowing down Ike Smite at the beginning and just went to right-clicking, went to raising.
And this is why you have to shut down Shadow Fiend.
Right.
You cannot let that hero dominate his lane and get a fast BKB. And they wanted to, they tried to, but it just didn't work. This is the result.
I mean, they didn't commit enough, right? They sent just Fluff and stuff mid. Perhaps IX Mike needed to go at that time too. Here comes IX Mike trying to 1v4, 1v5. I don't think that's just, although teleportation is coming in. IX Mike stuns YYF, and I do believe YYF is dead. Recovery coming out from Team Liquid.
They do get the kill. Everybody rotates bottom for that pretty much. They'll TP and Korok mid, however. And It's a nice kill for them. They get something back, but you got to say, like, IG isn't only winning the fights, they're also just flat out farming Liquid. I mean, 430 by himself, 95 CS. That's more than 2 of the other farmers on Liquid combined. Bulba, as well as as well as the Clockwork. No, the Clockwork as well as the Juggernaut. He's got about the same CS as those 2 combined. So it's great for Liquid to get kills, but the problem is, like, when they're getting a kill, they're not turning it into anything bigger. They're not really getting too much map control off of them. They're not taking towers, and they're not limiting IG's own farm.
Yeah.
IG's still farming a lot.
Right now, IG sending everybody to the bot lane and is completely scouted out by this particular observer ward. I think they realize they can't actually defend that tower, so Liquid Korok is just putting a ton of pressure on the mid lane. That's going to force a TP coming out from Faith, and he's going to illuminate defense, at least try to do so.
One team is Keeper of the Light, one team doesn't. So Liquid, they can't trade for towers. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, and I really like the positioning coming out from Faith. He's illuminating from the high ground. He knows he's absolutely safe here. And in fact, here comes Shadow Fiend.
TC will find an illusion wrench. I don't know what Joe's plan was there. Guess he thought Liquid would stick around way too long. But they do back off. A self-stun from Joe. I do have to say I've been quite underwhelmed by Joe's play this game. 430, however, has been magnificent. And IG are still in a commanding position. 17 minutes in, leading by 8k gold, 5k experience, and barreling down the middle lane. The tower, no glyph available. If they lose 2 tier 1s like this is really going to hurt. Bulba, prep for a hook. He's on the sidelines. He'll hook in. He's going for the backline supports. 430 unloads the Requiem. It's a good one. It might be a great one. There's a couple more raises. 2 heroes dead. Double buyback from Liquid. They really want to turn this around. He does get double familiar stun. Now Joe giving chase. Fluff dead as well. Triple again. This guy is just playing with a slot machine right now. 430, 11-0 and 2.
They're not done yet. They see TC. TC's on the run. Korok has joined them, and now everybody disengaged. But tier 1 tower goes down. Triple goes to 430.
They have no way to deal with the BKB Shadow Fiend. Even if you hook him, it doesn't stop anything once you BKBs. So Bulba going on the backline supports. I still think that is the correct choice, because those are the ones you can actually kill. But the problem is 430 just kills everyone.
Also, it was overzealous by Alex Mike to run into the middle of a big push. Vendetta mode, thinking that there's no sentry. I mean, this is IG you're dealing with. There was sentry up even long before the push happened. So Alex Mike ran in with Vendetta, got lifted, and got tossed back into those cogs, and basically melted to the Shadow Fiend Requiem.
So if you're IG now, scores 15-9, leading by 10k gold, leading by 7.5k experience, and all you've really done is, well, it's basically been a one-man show. We've had some good movement from Chuan early, but it's basically just been 430 crushing. So if they ever get these other heroes involved, if Joe gets a Shadow Blade and sets up some kills...
He's got the Shadow Blade, by the way.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
No? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's on the courier.
So Shadow Blade's coming out for him. 430, Yasha is coming in. I guess the good news for Liquid is the BKB charges are slowly going down, so maybe they can kill him as the fights stay longer, but they have to live through that initial barrage, and right now they're just not durable enough to do it. Bulba has power treads. That's it. He's not tanky. TC's going BKB, but that doesn't help you against all the physical damage of IG. I don't think they can sustain yet. They need a lot more HP to live through these fights.
Do we have another chapter of the Boba versus 430 mid lane matchup?
Another tough matchup for him, man.
Another storyline.
I mean, like you said, yeah. Like you said, though, Clockwork can kill Shadow Fiend, but 430 got a good early block, which is really important in that matchup. And from there, just out CS'd him, controlled the lane well, and went for the early boots. Early boots saved his life.
It's very big difference when you're playing against a hyper-aggressive solo mid that try to kill you, like Clockwork this game, when you don't have the backup support. Like, you remember how Pudge last game against a Pug, 1v1 straight up, that Pudge is never going to get a kill. But when you have arrows flying in from multiple directions,
yeah,
then that works. So what I'm trying to say is that when Na'Vi play their hyper-aggressive mid, they back him up to give him support. Whereas Team Liquid, all they sent was a pitiful, Shadow Grave gank on the mid lane, Chilling Grave? Chilling Slow? Whatever fluff.
Yeah, there's a Blank Lasso mid lane. Requiem on TC. I don't think they'll... Yeah,
no,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Not
they didn't even need to lift him there. Chuan doesn't even lift.
Yeah, Clockwork 1v1 just doesn't beat a Shadow Fiend if the Shadow Fiend player knows what's up. And judging
he has to make a mistake or he has to get ganked.
Yeah.
Which they could have done. They had good gankers. They only sent one. It was a level 1 Visage. Their weaker ganker, and it just didn't happen.
Well, IG's just rolling now, going up top as the entire team. By the way, Manta Style is going to be up in like 100 gold from Ferrari, so never mind the BKB. Even with the Manta illusions.
With the Manta Style and the DD rune, I mean, as I've learned,
yes,
we can have 3 DD Shadow Fiends in this fight. Oh no. Because he'll have his Manta. It's coming right now.
Liquid just trade right now.
Oh.
Trade at tier 1.
They can't even trade, though. That's the problem, because there's Keeper of the Light. Maybe they get this tower mid.
Well, Zo's gonna defend and slow down with Acid Spray.
Bulba is scouting, hoping to find a Keeper of the Light for the hook, which is the nice play here, but when you see some of the cores TPing in, you just have to back. They're going to have a mech soon in that Keeper of the Light. Chuan, Force Staff soon. IG is just cruising.
They are cruising. Korok walking in jungle, hoping to find a solo support or something, and unload his.
And honestly, for Liquid, I feel like some lineups can come back from this kind of deficit. Oh, they will find
slash.
Faith.
Nice luck.
Again, killing the supports, though. Killing. Are you sure you delay the mech? Oh, actually, no. He bought it, so didn't even really delay it. I just don't think they have anyone who's going to be that huge comeback hero. Like, who is actually just going to kill a BKB Shadow Fiend late game? Juggernaut with a level 2 Omni Slash, no ags, no damage items, no attack speed. Not him. Not a Weaver with just treads and an Ogre Club. With farm, sure, these heroes can kill Shadow Fiend, but they have nothing to deal with them now.
I mean, I just want to go back to that particular tri lane that Team Liquid ran. When you run a Juggernaut tri lane, your killing power is not that powerful. At the same time, you do have healing more to sustain the Illuminate Blast. So it's basically a passive sort of offensive tri lane. And they just didn't shut down Zo enough. He did get killed a couple of times, to be fair. But they just don't have time to rotate their support to shut down Shadow Fiend mid. And I think that's a storyline for 430 Shadow Fiend. Don't shut him down early, you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, IG looking like they're in a commanding position in Game 1. If you're a Liquid fan, though, they could still take Game 2 and be in the upper bracket. So
all they need is one win.
They need one win. This doesn't look like that one win. But I do feel it largely just came down to the way the lanes developed. If they had stronger lanes, I don't feel like IG is necessarily way better than them, but they just had the kind of lineup where if Shadow Fiend crushes his lane, the game's almost over right there.
Yep. I mean, Team Liquid was part of a great comeback against Tong Fu earlier in the groups. I think that was during day 1, so they got a lot of confidence beating Tong Fu then. Can they do something here? Can they perhaps make a comeback? Can Juggernaut get fat enough? Can Weaver get fat enough?
There's so few avenues to come back right now. The gem for Fluff gives them a little more map control, and I think that's the big thing they do have right now. They have a Nyx Assassin and a Clockwork, great long-range gankers, and they have vision while IG do not. But IG can just 5-man, and they always have Keeper Light to split push if needed. I think Liquid somehow just needs to pick heroes off, but with Sentry Wards being plopped down in the lane, their avenues to find those pickoffs are very limited.
Yep, here comes Illuminated to blow down the Crude Wave, and that tier 2 tower, I think it's going to be taken for free. Korok seems like he's going for the Acceptor build. I'm never a big fan of the Acceptor. Here comes a blink from Batrider. Uh-oh, Korok, are you dead, my friend?
BKB unwinding his 430. Korok down. And everybody should be on the run. Fluff sticking around. Still slowed by the Requiem. One more raise, just out of vision.
That's his first miss.
That's his first miss in 24 minutes.
430 scrub.
And he's not even necessarily going to win the 1v1 competition. This isn't even the best Shadow Fiend player.
I mean...
He's a good one, though. He's a good one.
1v1 Dota is a little bit different. I'm just going to say that.
That's very true.
I'm just going to say that. Mushi is not
You're saying you would take 430 over Mushi? I don't know. That's a tough choice, actually.
No, I think Mushi is definitely one of the best 1v1s. I can't.
Well, no, I mean in general.
In general?
Who's on your fantasy team, Looney?
Neither.
Yeah, we know he has to beat Moo.
Dendy's
Thank you, Vikramon.
Dendy's on my fantasy team.
And bottom lane, we'll see a TP out from TC. Dendy's on your team? Dendy's already... Dendy doesn't like 1v1, by the way. He thinks it's pretty silly.
Yeah,
we actually invited him to participate in a Fistful of Tangos, and he was one of the few players that got invited that said he didn't want to. IG will smoke up, but they do it under a dire ward. The one thing I don't like from IG is the lack of a gem. I mean, when you're up by this much gold, 14,000, there's no excuse. You should have a gem.
Don't need gem when you can take fluffs. Here we go. Where's the BKB from 430? Gotta pop it.
No, he didn't get it off. He's getting burst a little bit. Now an Omni Slash coming through. 430. Manta's up. It's too late. And oh my god, they're actually might be going to lose this fight. The first death for the Shadow Fiend. A ray of hope
back
for the Americans. And in we go. Now Zhou Shadow Blading away. Incoming TC. I think the gem actually went the way of IG during this fight. It did. Zhou picked it up. TC to fall. So who needs a gem when you can just take liquids, I suppose.
That's what I'm saying.
Now Cogs from Boba. Stun on Korok. Korok in trouble. YYF hunting him. 430's back, and he's out for vengeance. And he's going to find it. 13-1-6 now. And IG, now they go Roche.
Yep. That was just a little bit of a pre-party on the Roche pit. IG wins that handily. And
Pre-gaming for IG.
Yeah, pre-gaming.
Well, they've taken their shots, and now they're out on the town.
Yeah, now they put the Aegis on 430, and the game gets almost impossible. You saw that 430 overstepped a little bit without his allies here and took an Omni Slash to the face, and even that, he survived for quite a bit. But
Yeah,
now...
he popped his Manta a little bit late there. I mean, he didn't even play it perfectly, but he still lived for a really long time.
Yeah, but now with the Aegis on top, I mean, you only have one Omni Slash.
IG, yeah, you only have one Omni Slash, and even after buying back, 430 is 3,000 gold.
What is he
2,800.
getting next? I think Desolator is in order, or Dendy would generally love his crits by now. Well, Dendy also has
I
Blink
think
by
Butterfly is really good now, too.
now. Okay, that's fair. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Desolator's nice when you already have so much minus armor. It just feels good.
Mhm.
But we'll see. I think Butterfly's really nice again. It doesn't block the Juggernaut. I don't believe it blocks the regular slashes from the ult, but the auto attacks that can come in between it. You
Right.
can miss those.
Right.
And there's just so much. There's like decent physical damage from familiars and right clicks from Weaver. Well, it's not that decent, but it's probably more damage than anything else coming this way.
I mean, what does this do to IG's confidence, or more importantly, Team Liquid's confidence?
I don't feel IG should not feel overconfident because I think it's mainly just 430. YYF's gotten picked off a few times. Joe got picked off a lot. We saw Faith just pretty much feeding top lane, pushing with no vision against a Weaver by himself. Chuan has looked really solid, and I'd say 430 has been amazing, but I don't think they should feel overconfident. If they feel super confident going into game 2, they could get completely crushed.
And as for Team Liquid, I mean, I always worry about their confidence level. I know they play a lot better if they're just playing Dota. And if they start thinking about, you know, what if we lose this game? What if we go to the losers bracket? Then they really, really
You
are in
can't
big
think
trouble.
about
Yeah,
that.
they cannot. Even against the defending champions, who is, you know, playing okay Dota for now. So
Remember, they have beaten IG before. They beat them on land. They did it with CK Wisp, sure, but they beat the team nonetheless.
Slarkwisp.
Didn't they have CK? They had CK.
They had CK too?
Yeah, pretty sure. I don't know if
Okay.
he did a whole lot. I think they had CK Wisp.
Okay, well, they have Wisp.
95% sure.
And IG has said we will not give you the Wisp. And how? Here comes the high ground.
Yeah, if they don't give Liquid Wisp, I do think it's much harder for Liquid. Like, that's, to me, it's a gimme if Liquid gets it. I don't think IG's going to give it to them. They've taken game 1. They've done it by banning the Wisp. They'll look to do it in game 2. Game 1, all but out of reach for Liquid. Liquid trying to defend their high ground, but very hard to find a way into these fights. You've got a hook. You've got your initiation for Bulba. But he sees 430 hitting his base, and he's not going in. YYF blinking forward, 4-staffing back. Now, BKB from 430 unloads the Requiem, and he pops one. He looks for more. He's dropping fast, but not fast enough. Too fast, too furious. TC on the run. Time-lapsing back out. TC heading north, and YYF following him with the gem and with the Mana League. Uh-oh. Yeah, GG.
TC says, don't kill me, I called the GG.
Mercy, please. No mercy.
Zo says, stat pattern. Gotta get them fantasy points.
Raise your shadows, Lumi.
Raise my what?
Raise your shadows.
What does that even mean?
Raise your dongers, except raise your shadows. Shadow raise, get it?
Oh.
Jesus. You're slow.
I'm slow.
You're very slow today.
All I know is that IG 2-0. It's happening. It's happening.
You did actually say you wanted IG to win 2-0.
Yeah.
You are actually an awful American. You're not a race trader, though.
I'm not a race trader like you are.
So Liquid struggling in game 1. They'll lose it. IG take it on the back of 430 Shadow Fiend.
Yep.
Well, I think the game was really well played by IG. Obviously, fantastic play out of Ferrari. He took advantage of the situation. And what I think the situation was an outdraft, and then that led to an outplay. I talked to some of the Liquid people yesterday, and they were saying that the Chinese scene was pretty behind on the meta, or at least by a couple months, and the fact that they were picking too greedy, so they would draft things like Alchemist and Lifestealer and too many cores that need to farm, and they would punish that, which is why they grabbed the Ursa Wisp the other day. So if I could just get verification from the casters, Lifestealer made it quite a ways through, right?
He was ignored through the entire first phase.
Okay, so I think what Liquid was trying to do was allow IG to take the Lifestealer. That way they would have done either Lifestealer in the tri lane or Alchemist mid. Either one of those, either Lifestealer or Alchemist, would have been a much better matchup for Clockwork. And instead, they left that through all the way. There's no way that a normal team would do that unless they wanted them to pick it. And then they picked a Shadow Fiend, and Shadow Fiend is really good against Clockwork. And to make matters worse, they had an aggressive tri-lane, so their supports couldn't even rotate over, because if they did, then they would have had an off-lane Juggernaut against kind of a scary tri-lane with stuns and nukes. And then, you know, like, they couldn't leave their supports to go cover Bulba mid, and Bulba had to lane versus a Shadow Fiend as a Clockwork, and that's not a good matchup. So.
too like trying to be next level with the draft. I think they gave away Bat and Wisp and Alchemist to Alliance yesterday, and this time they gave Bat and Alchemist. Those are like two top tier heroes that you do not want to give away without getting like something awesome in return. They had what, like Nyx and Visage and like
Weaver.
Weaver. They're like decent heroes, but they're not like first pick materials. Well, Weaver's been first pick a lot.
I still
but-
think that Coddle pick completely threw Liquid off. I mean, look at all the bans they had after that. They banned
PL?
Gyrocopter, PL, as well as Anti-Mage, which you
And
normally would not ban against IG.
I think that they also picked Nyx Assassin, not just because of it, but it's pretty good against Illuminate. They also picked Clockwork, which is definitely
great against Keeper.
great against a PL keeper counter in a sense.
Yeah.
But did he ever hook? They hooked him once in the jungle. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe they expected IG to play like passively, but they definitely did not after Shadow Fiend got off to a good start. They had no way of stopping the Shadow Fiend from farming early just by the draft alone, and because Bat puts out a lot of pressure on his lane, and their defensive triple lane had a lot of killing power, and they can't really sacrifice Korok's farm in order to gank Ferrari because their supports can rotate too. So it's like it's a really risky thing, but Ferrari took complete advantage of it, and just it was impressive Shadow Fiend
The one
play.
time they did rotate on Ferrari in the early game, it was TC on the Weaver, and then he got that double raise off and died, and that was just a gank that needed to happen for Liquid to do well. I mean, if they would have been able to get a solo kill or a gank kill on Shadow Fiend in the early game and Clockwork gets a level advantage, sure, that's a matchup you can win, especially if you hit 6 first, if you can hookshot in, battery cell, whatever. But if you can never get the gap closed and you don't have enough HP buffer to eat the double raise, then it's just,
Right.
you can't win that matchup.
Liquid has to draft stronger lanes like Clockwork and Weaver. They're good heroes, but they against particular matchups like Bat and Shadow Fiend, they were destined to lose those lanes to begin with.
Yep.
And their triple lanes like okay, but if you're gonna lose 2 lanes out of 3, you have to win your third like decisively, and that did not happen. So I would like to see a stronger draft out of Liquid. Just stop trying to next level and bait people into lifestealer or whatever picks because IG didn't take the bait and they just absolutely dominated. It was actually quite embarrassing for Liquid.
Yeah, I thought the game was going to look a lot closer than that. I'm a little scared for them right now. I hope that they pick Standard and just beat them. They need 1 win to stay in the winner's bracket. If they lose this next match, they got to play in losers. So, not looking good.
Scary, scary road.
So
Good for IG, though.
can we take a look at the other sides of the tournament and see what's going on? Because I'm looking at my multi-Twitch, and Rattlesnake has first picked an Ursa, followed by a second pick.
Well,
Wisp.
these games don't matter. These teams have nothing to lose.
Right, but it matters for Tong Fu because Tong Fu
Well,
needs
but
to.
yeah, it doesn't matter for Rattlesnake. They're going to experiment.
So is this a throw?
well,
Is this the throw you were
it
talking
matters
about?
for the.
no, I think Ursa Wisp has been shown.
Was it Wisp and Ursa picked at the very start?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good versus Lifestealer.
Yeah.
He just like demolishes him
Yeah,
through
he
the
just,
rage.
like,
It's,
look
it's absurd.
Meanwhile, on the other side, on the match that I don't think, well, it could matter for LGD International. VP has picked Axe.
Again, a team that has nothing to play for, except they're in the losers bracket no matter what. They're one of the lowest seeded teams in the groups no matter what.
Yeah.
So why not
LGD
have fun?
crushed them in game 1 though. But
Okay, we'll talk a lot more about those games after the series, but we're going to take a very quick break. Then we're going to come right back with Game 2, guys. So stay tuned.